Hi, I'm Brian Neary, a commercial real estate advisor with Newmark Grubb Knight Frank. With us today, we have co-founder of Technically Media, Chris Wink.
I think a lot about templates or replicable models for what our publication can be. And in truth, for as pejorative as the concept of cookie cutter local media outlets can be, I actually think that is the right path. You can't really build a multiple market or large footprint with 1,000 different recipes. You can't do that. So we very much do want to have an increasingly consistent brand experience. That I think is no nonsense, that's truly important. The variation that take place in our half dozen markets, for me, are more examples of us fleshing out experiments. We do a lot of experiments. We'll use each market for different assets it has to try different events, products, offerings, pricing. So we do a lot of that constantly. So we have variation because of that. But in truth, the right future is pretty clear and consistent. This is what a technically market looks like. And we're a lot closer to that than we were a couple of years ago, but surely there are lots of variations. I think though the point is some of those tried and true lessons of consistency are dead on, and we certainly want to pursue those. Among the differences we have across some of our markets is an events package. We do these week series. We do something called Philly Tech Week that comes up every April and May each year. We do something called Delaware Innovation Week and Baltimore Innovation Week, but we don't do similar events in DC and Brooklyn because those communities didn't seem to really need it, and we thought that those communities were in different stages. We tried to respond accurately to what we thought the communities needed. But those weeks have become really important for how we've understood and built seasonal revenue, how we've had the biggest mission impact we could, how we could engage the most stakeholders. 2016 in Philly Tech Week, we had 178 events, something like that. So many that in 2017 we actually capped the number to 100 because we wanted to make it a little more accessible, and we're doing a lot more with curated events and making sure that the serendipity of finding someone you can build a company with or grow is important. And that's an interesting decision because every entrepreneur will tell you that the only right number is the number that's bigger than last year's. And that's just not something that I subscribe to. I want, our entire business has been built on trying to make the best experience, and we don't always do it. But we're always trying to get closer to it than we were last year. And so in this sense, curation has become a big part of what we do in terms of who we invite to some events, how many events we have, and what kinds of events we do. And I think it's a really important lesson to bigger numbers for bigger numbers' sake is a disease that will eat you alive. I don't do daily reporting anymore, even though that was what for the last, for the first 10 years of my young career, that's what I wanted to do. And I still probably self-identify as a journalist first and foremost. So I think those instincts inform how I've approached growing a company more than I might even realize. By that I mean is I'm really overly focused on what is true. I am as challenging to myself as anyone can be. I'm probably constantly negotiating with myself about what I think is true and whether I am self-deceiving or am I really talking about the truth. So I think my values of building a company are just trying to be as honest as I can, and with the understanding that there is no such thing as real honesty because we all see through our own prism. So I have to sleep at night, and so I have to believe that the bias we all have, and that is that I am well-intentioned and we're building an organization that's gonna last. But because I'm a reporter and because I've interviewed enough founders, I know that I would always sit on the other side of the table and say, yeah, but you probably won't. So I think I'm always the first critic of myself, and that for me that's the best of business press. You have the most optimistic people on the planet, entrepreneurs, and you have the absolute most pessimistic people on the planet, journalists. And I have both of them inside of me. And so I am, by any day, the one that assumes that, it's all gonna collapse tomorrow, and, well, we might go ahead and buy Google ourselves tomorrow. I think both of those things are inside of me, and I think that's why we probably do a pretty good job internally as an organization, challenging ourselves, but also taking time to celebrate ourselves, which you need to do. And I like to believe that that's a big part of what's made us a strong, vibrant organization.